So all around the UK they're starting to demolish all the brutalist structures from the 50s and 60s and 70s. But just nestled behind Market Street, you have just another corporate brutalist office. And again, it remains because there's a very small amount of uniformity in the windows, which makes it look, you know, like a retro version of the future, which is unique in its own style. Welcome to Soap Street. Tyler Durden lives here. Now that building over there is also abandoned. Some relic from the 19th century. You can see the Manhattan style fire escapes over here. Now, whatever's going on here, they're leaving that abandoned building up and they're going to be building something over here. But I suspect that that empty shell, and it is an empty shell, will also get pulled down. I don't know why they're not doing it now. Answers on a postcard, please. Morning everyone, it's Tuesday the 16th of February. We are here in Stevenson Square in the Northern Quarter. This is the bohemian, hipster, alternative part of Manchester. Don't fall off, mate, while you're giving me the finger, you twat. Got a problem? Come and sort it out, you little pussy! Anyway, hard people everywhere. He almost fell off his bike because he was giving me the double finger. As I was saying, fucking crackheads everywhere. Here in the Bohemian Quarter, Northern Quarter, you have a mural that was set up when it happened. George Floyd, obviously, he died whilst the officers were arresting him and detaining him in the United States of America. Now, why has it been boarded up? Well, it was in the Manchester Evening News. Someone came along and you can see the top of it. You can see the top there and there, the spray paint. Someone got a can of spray paint and they spray painted the large letter N. N for November. Now, it's graffiti on graffiti, but it's symbolic graffiti on symbolic graffiti. Let me turn around and tell you what I really think. Alrighty then, so, as we were saying, George Floyd's mural has been desecrated. St. George has been attacked. The spray painting of a large letter N, of course, the police, and maybe even the intent of the graffiti artist. It's graffiti on graffiti. Maybe his intent was to capitalize a word that no one's allowed to say for obvious reasons, N, but it can also mean no. So, Greater Manchester Police has dedicated dozens of man-hours of detectives scouring the CCTV. They've released images of a man dressed in black with a face mask on. Oh, what a pity that face masks are compulsory. You can't even catch this. So they've dedicated dozens of man-hours, cost the taxpayers lots of money, because some local Mancunian resident decided to spray paint a capital letter N for November on old George Floyd here. Now, if the guy is caught and arrested and gulagged and, you know, put in a cell for spray painting the letter N, I don't think it would be a complicated defense team argument to say you cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt, Your Honor, that the letter N stands for bad words. The letter N stands for one of the most common words in the English language. It stands for no. And maybe the guy who spray painted it says to the world, to America, to the United States, pick better heroes, guys. Nobody should die at the hands of law enforcement, but read beneath the propaganda, read beneath the sound bites, have a look at the autopsy, have a look why George Floyd died, have a look at his criminal history, and again, no one with a criminal past deserves to die at the hands of cops. There's miracles that can happen inside every person where they become good, they realize the errors of their ways. And I believe in redemption, massively. But George Floyd is not a good hero, guys. He's not a good saint for the cause. No. There are countless, dozens, hundreds of amazing black activists, black actors, black politicians, black authors, all going back hundreds of years. I mean, just picking one from the top of my head. You want a real hero for the Black Lives Matter movement? Try Frederick Douglass. Big American writer. Also a former slave. Also an escaped slave. And what's even more tragic about Frederick Douglass is that he was a rape baby. Some plantation owner raped his mum. And he was still enslaved. And he became a literary giant. And some of his writing, guys, look up Frederick Douglass. You want a black hero? Frederick Douglass. Do you remember when you voted for the government to treat you like a naughty schoolchild? Do you remember when you looked forward to being a grown-up, an adult, so then your controllers, the people who are meant to work for you, remember the old saying, by the people, of the people, for the people? Every big tragedy begins, every big genocide, world war, atrocity begins with people unable to process the reality around them, and they have to look for scapegoats. Right now, UK government blaming you. Thanks for the advice, but I'm a grown-up man and I can choose which little birdies and avians that I give food to. You can stick your fine where the sun don't shine, and yeah, screw you. Here's someone fighting the power. That's it, Birdman doesn't give a shit about fines. And what's really nice is the environmental enforcers, you know, the cigarette butt Gestapo, they're not around, so... I mean, think about this, viewers. Who has the right to tell this man he's not allowed to feed some birds? For those of you in the know, the small red square means armed police car. Standard issue is the Glock, handgun, pistol, and the short commando version of the Heckler & Koch G36, which fires a 5.56 standard NATO full metal jacket round. And that round is not new, and it's not designed to necessarily kill the injured party. Of course, if you get shot in the heart, major blood vessel, or the nervous system, as in the spine or the brain, you will die. But that full metal jacketed round is designed to fly right through you, cause a fair bit of damage, and make you scream out in pain. Because in a war scenario, an injured soldier is even more useless than a dead soldier. Because obviously an injured soldier demoralizes the troops around him by screaming for his mummy as he's holding on to his lower intestine. And also it takes a good few men to take him away to the field hospital. What the hell am I talking about? Just enjoy the back of that police X5. Okay, so why are armed police walking around, driving around on walking pavements, very clear walking pavements? Why? Why is there police with assault rifles driving around Manchester? Well, in every major UK city and probably around Europe, there is the expectation of a Bombay style machine gun roaming attack. Now, if you remember, Bombay, they call it Mumbai will be correct. In Mumbai 10 years ago, a bunch of Laksha Islam fighters from over the border in Pakistan, these are radicalized young men, they went into Bombay and attacked the major 5-star hotels and holed themselves up and killed 174 people. Now, of course, there are guns in the UK. The police will, even in Manchester, reveal the raid on some gangster's house or some nasty scumbag's house, and they'll find guns and grenades. So it doesn't take too much imagination to see that AK-47s and ammunition can be smuggled into the country. No border force is perfect, and nihilism exists. Massive spectaculars exist. Incels exist. Angry young men with no wife, no kids, no money, no prospects, with a mind full of crazy, violent religious rhetoric. Boom. You have all the makings for madness. That's the new normal, guys. Just armed, massive police BMW X5s driving down tram lines, driving on pavements, scouring the city, just being there, just in case that group of maniacs decides to do the shooty or the runny over. At least with a big X5, you can ram the car in question, jump out, and fire many Full Metal Jacket rounds into the guy's chest. One can only hope.